Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Sock Talks with Sean and Joy. We're glad to have you here today. And I'm very excited. I was talking to Sean before this all started today. And Sean, you sold two prompting process packages this week alone.
I did.
We
I
want to
told
hear
you on
about it.
Monday, and I
I
sold
want
one
to, I want to
right
hear
before this
all
call.
about it. I want, yeah. Yeah, you twisted an arm, whatever. Anyways, let's talk about it, Sean. Tell us about the folks that you did, who were these new people? Were they from a long time ago? What's their profession? What did you do? Kind of
So
walk us
both realtors, which I don't think it matters what profession, but both realtors.
through. Okay.
No, Monday was a referral from a lending couple that used to be in Columbus, and they moved south of me a couple hours, and they had an open house, or they met this realtor and said, "Hey, we talked about send out. She wants to know it." So scheduled. We met Monday. I think So my mo, and I'm um, now processing the card is quick. I didn't show change colors. I mean, just a quick process how to send the card,
We're
but
hearing
asking
all about
questions
that.
like, you know, when you talk to Todd and Maria, what made you want to learn about send out cards? And she's originally from Miami, moved over to like Sarasota, which is like, again, a couple hours south here, and been there for 7 or 8 years. And she's like, I'm just not good about staying in front of my clients. I mean, she said that. Great. Okay. Well, I can help you with that. So have her go through the card, and then we get to the pricing. I have them go. I have them close out the window where it just shows the two subscriptions. That's what I do. I X out of that, take you to pricing. So we talk about the prompting card, and I've weaved Cody's story in there, and I weaved my story in there as well when I first started. And I'm telling people now, look, I would have bought the 2,000 card package because all I was doing was one card to my clients every month and a half.
Hmm.
So, but listening to what she told me, I said, look, and I go through the subscriptions, and I said, look, that's really, the prompting is when you think of someone, or when you see a Facebook photo, or you met with somebody and a topic came up. So I'm planting the seeds on how to do those cards. That's where these cards come into play. That's all the subscriptions are about. And then if scroll down, and I said, this is really the entire package. It gives you really everything where you're not going to miss anything if you bought this package. And I go line by, comes with the 97, comes with this, comes with this. I go through everything and tell them what it comes with. Not, it's not a 10-minute dissertation, but quickly go through that. I said, look, it's 497 one time. You are going to have a reoccurring of 97 because you're going to be on the unlimited. Again, you need to do 2 to 3 cards a day individually to make that uh, with
Hmm.
value, give it value, and make it profitable, or make it, worth your while. And I say, scroll down a little more, and then I talk about the system cards or the card packages, where those are the drip cards, over time. And the one Monday, she went back up to the package and she stopped, and I'm like, well, what question do you have on this? Oh, I think this guy. And I said, then I key it up like, look, when I get to the virtual assistant, especially when I knew she was kind of going to buy it, I said, you're going to wait to meet with them until after I meet with you again and coach you, because I'm going to help you do a few things where you can really take that virtual assistant, whether that's import your contacts or make some more cards, so you get the most value out of that 2 hours with them.
Hmm.
So, all right, buy now, and we scheduled it, and we're meeting next Thursday for our coaching, and to go, and I'm going to help her do the couple backs of the cards, and create a campaign or two for her 100 cards.
Hmm.
And I planted the seed like the 100 cards. We'll probably do that next week, and then you can just planting the seed that you can just buy another package below
Hmm.
on, how many clients do you have? How often do you want to stay in touch? So next Thursday, she may be another 1,000 card package or whatever that is, or planting that seed that she's going to do it again.
I have a question for you, Sean, because I kind of struggle this when I'm going in that sequence of showing. When you're showing the package and you've talked about the prompting cards, you've done everything, there, which fits with obviously our 97. When you get to the second line there and you talk about the system send cards, but yet you haven't talked about the packages ahead of time. What do you say?
I always tell people the card packages are really geared towards the top of mind cards. Planning out your year, doing your easy one. You want to do your Christmas cards today? well, we can, and we'll just pick
Okay,
November 30th as
okay.
the send date. So just getting that, and it goes back to that. I think we talked a few weeks ago that when people choose to do promptings and send out cards, it's I want to build better relationships.
Mhm.
Another funnel is I want to make money for my clients, and then I want to stay top of mind. So the card packages are in that top of mind, which leads to
Mhm, mhm,
visibility, which leads to credibility, which
mhm,
then helps you with silo number two, which is I'll make more money because,
mhm. Well,
I'm gonna
I like how you said that, kept it very general. It says this package is for staying top of mind. That we're gonna schedule cards and we're gonna stay top of mind and then just go on. And
yeah.
then by
I
then,
don't
then
not
you're
yeah, don't
done.
not and then when I go to the card packages, this
You
is
go in a
after
little
you're
bit more
done,
detail.
and I
Okay,
would, after you're done
okay.
with your 100, here's where you would buy the
Additional.
because you
Okay,
want to,
okay.
if someone goes right to the card packages, or I know we're getting off topic, and said, I'm going to buy the 500, great. I always try to say, you really should add the 37 because those are the really ones that are going to help really deepen those
Sure, sure.
relationships.
Yeah, if you're going
And
that
the,
direction. Yeah,
and
yeah.
the,
But I like what you said. I thank you because you actually just helped me an awful lot on that because I struggled myself with as I'm trying to explain the package, but I haven't let them know about the plan or the other, what a system we get wrapped up on what does the system send, kind
right,
of thing. Whereas you have just kind of framed it in such a way like these 100 cards are those top of mind cards.
right.
They're different, and so that's great. Thank you.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
So
and that
she got
really
signed up.
makes, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So she signed up. And again, like we scheduled, and then I already scheduled the training. We're meeting next Thursday to go in. And I purposely say, look, we're going to do a Zoom. I'm going to schedule 2 hours just because if she wants help, you know, my plan is, well, she's been thinking about, well, why wouldn't I want to get all my rest of the year cards or, until this time next year? Well, cool. Well, buy the 1,000 card package and let's create the cards. And then, we'll hit send and you pay for postage. And then those are sitting in the queue. And then you just have fun with all the individual cards that you
Yeah.
do
Well,
throughout
the
the month.
interesting one thing there too that you mentioned about the stamps. They don't pay for the stamps until the cards are sent. The only thing
Right,
they
right.
pay for is the cards or get the cards queued. They come out of what you've paid for, but you really, you won't get any kind of charges whatsoever, additional charges on the stamps until they actually do send.
So, but yeah, so that
So
was
that's one
Monday.
person.
And then today, we had a huge visitor day at my BNI group. We had like 70 people show up last
Wow.
Friday. Yeah.
Wow. Of course, you're
Um,
all virtual, right? Was this virtual or was it in
no,
person?
it's live. So
Really? What do
we
you have, an
have
auditorium
almost
or what?
100 members. So we had probably 170, 180 people in this room. And we were
Wow.
ready for it. We did extra tables and things. And
Yeah.
she was a realtor and a lender that somebody, hey, I want to introduce you. And so her and the lender were talking right next to each other. And the lender's like, oh, I need you because I'm moving companies. I'm like, my first thought, well, I don't do business. Oh, no, no, no. I get what you need. So, and I said, and I just said, look, I'll text you and let's schedule something for next week. So, did, and we met today, just earlier today, and same thing, quickly walk through, sending a card to someone, took her to pricing. And this one, we got into it. We were quicker. So I was trying to weave my story in, and I told Cody's story when we got to the promptings. I said, okay, these two, let me tell you what, when I went from mortgages to wanting to do send out cards more, I went to a promptings now process, eight
Mhm,
hour day, not just a 4 hour day. And I
mhm,
said, I heard Cody's story, and I tell Cody's story. And I said, that's what these cards are for. And then go down. And again, here's the promptings. It's one time 497. You have the 97 after that, but here's what you get with this one. Again, this gets you everything. It's just a great starter.
yeah,
And I, you know what? I think the key to both of them, they were the right people.
mhm,
We
mhm,
talk. I mean, I attracted two right people this week.
yeah,
That the Monday she said, "Look, I get the really I'm the kindness and the relationship," and then today she's like, "I've been looking for something," and she actually had another realtor say something. I talked to her about, well, I do this thing and I can put Christmas card date in, and I didn't ask if it was real card or probably more email that it's scheduled. So she goes, I need something that I know I need to do a better job of staying in front of people.
Mhm.
So we again went through the whole thing, and then I went down below, and she will probably, I've already planted the seed. I said, okay, here's what you're going to do. You're going to, went through it. She's like, oh, and then she went back up to this one and said that 497, that's not annual. And I said, no, that's one time. Again, you will have the 97 ongoing. And she said, okay. Um, so she did it. And I said, look, here's what we want. I told both some pictures for the back of the cards. And then with this one specifically, I said, you need to tell me on Thursday, how many clients do you have and how often do you want to hit them over the next year? And I give, we're now in May, so you could do a Memorial Day, you could do a 4th of July, you could do a back to school, you could do a Halloween, you could do a Thanksgiving, and then New Year, and then so I plant the seeds on when they should be doing the cards. So I know will probably add on next week, do one of the system card packages, and I'll help her create those cards over the next year, which won't take
Right.
long.
Right.
So yeah, she kind of went back up to that one again, and just but I go line by line quickly, like you said. I don't go into a lot of detail on
Mhm.
what each one does. Um, it's like, okay, do I just hit this? Yes, you do.
Yeah. Yeah.
um, but it's also planting the seeds for future sales with card packages, making sure they're doing a couple cards a day, just so they get value out of the 97. Um, so, but yeah, it was
That's good. That's good.
2 a week.
Great.
If I just
Great.
do that every week, it's good.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, and you'll get the coaching bonus in there and,
That'll be next Thursday. So that'll be a $250,
yeah.
for probably 2 or 3 hours of my time. Yeah, that's not a bad thing. So
Yeah, awesome, awesome. I like what you said too about prep. I like the comment that you had mentioned. And I don't know what it was before we talked or on while we're recording, but you commented about like, hey, I'm going to get on here with you first before you work with the VA.
yeah,
And
I would
that's
suggest
good to
that
know.
just because you can clean up some stuff or you can help them with some
You
stuff.
can
So
help them.
so that 2 hours is really
Yes,
jam packed full of
yes, yeah. What do you
I
want them
need
to do in that two
yeah,
hours?
whatever you want them to do. And I said, you're going to have conversation with them and, we'll finish. And I'll probably next week say, look, your VA, you should probably do this, or, whatever, I'll kind of plant the seeds for that as well. So they get the most out of their 2 hours
Sure.
with them.
Sure. Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. Thanks, Sean. I really appreciated
Well, thanks for the questions. Yeah.
walking through there and because I know it's for like I say, for me, it's like I have a hard time going back if I haven't talked about those packages. But bottom line is I don't need to be that detailed. And
And
because
don't,
in both cases that you said, that person you went in the sequence that the company has us wanting us to do,
yep.
finding that rhythm to do that. And then when you went back there, both those people went back up to that package.
Yeah.
Rather than some minds think, this, and then, oh, this is the most expensive. You know what I mean? And they don't, that's sandwiched right between the two, and it should be.
So your takeaway should be share it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't, and if you, honestly, if you think 497 is expensive, you're never going to sell one of them. You aren't.
No,
And I
no.
tell, I'll say, look, this is a 1450. If you bought everything separate, you're going to spend 1,500.
Yeah.
We just want you to get off to the best start
Yeah,
with it.
absolutely. Well, that's something too, because when I presented it at my BNI chapter, when I spoke a couple of weeks ago, I said, my company calls this promptings process package. I'm going to call it a quick start package. I
Yeah,
said,
yeah,
this kick starts your business or kick starts you,
Kickstart.
quick start
Absolutely.
or kick start, either way. I said, this gets you up and going. And it's so funny because as I was talking about the people around me, people that haven't purchased that pack, they're shaking their head like you're waiting. Yeah, I'm waiting to get my contacts in. Yeah, I mean, because
And
it's yeah.
we all know that once someone gets all their contacts in, sending cards is easy.
Mm-hmm.
And then adding, so it's, there's no shame in saying that up front because a lot of times people are thinking that's an obstacle. How am I going to put all these people in? So when you say, hey, Joy, we know that, adding your contacts is the biggest work up front.
Yeah,
So with
yeah,
this, have the virtual assistant do it for you.
Yeah.
wherever your contacts are, you send them, they'll get them in, and they get them in right. And then so
Yeah.
you're right. Just don't be afraid to share this. It's a great value. It really is.
Mhm.
And if somebody's looking 497, really try to buy a CRM for $497, let
Yeah.
alone all the things you get. So,
Right, exactly,
yep.
exactly. Well, awesome. Okay, well, awesome. Well, listen, we would love on your feed, anything that that you're doing, anything you picked up from this
Yeah,
conversation,
absolutely.
that take your, take and work it yourself. But, bottom line in both cases, Sean's got you've got the right attitude, and when it happens, and you're putting it out there, the power of the prompting. Obviously, that's where if anything, explaining why the new name is changing, why we're where we're at today,
Yep.
it's all
And
about,
I'm all on board on that now.
yeah,
Now.
yeah, I know. Well, yeah, aren't we all, right? So,
And
yeah.
then if you're not with both of them or anyone that I've done 5 or 6, I always um, send Cody. I tell him, look, I'm going to send you Cody's ebook, the promptings process. It goes just much more in detail of his story, and especially with realtors, Gail's got a story in there. I said, you want to, read this. So both of, that goes out as soon as I walk anyone through sending a card,
Mhm.
whether they get started or not, because
That's a
just
great
more
tip.
value you're adding to them. So
That's a
anyway,
great tip. Yeah,
yep,
use that. We don't know the value of that Promptings Pro app that we have and what we
well,
have out there to get the people. I'm
use it
just,
every day. And
yeah,
if you're
gotta use it.
and it's just a way to stay in touch with people, especially if they haven't signed up for anything or haven't, just to keep dripping, practice what we preach. Besides the cards, there's a lot of value that you can send, whether it's the webinar, like I sent that webinar out last week to people that could make it to, I had my list of realtors and I
Mhm.
sent it out, said, hey, you want to watch this? Especially towards the end, Gail's going to be on there and she took her business of 35% referral to almost 100% referral. You're going to get something out of this. You're just adding value. You're becoming valuable to that person, whether they do it eventually or not. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what we want.
good enough. Yep,
So
awesome.
anyway, all right.
Okay, awesome. Well, hey, great topic today. Thanks for sharing and congratulations, Sean. And
Thank you.
we'll see you guys all next week.
Absolutely. Have a great weekend.
Bye.
Bye bye.